Okay, let's talk about something big that's happening just under the surface of the tech world. It's a story that's going to affect pretty much every single device you own, and it's about to hit your wallet. Hard. We're going to break down exactly why your favorite tech is suddenly getting a whole lot more expensive.
So, picture this. You're ready for a new phone, but the model you wanted just isn't coming out. That new gaming console you've been saving for? Delayed. Again. And you have no idea why. It's not one big disaster you can point to, just this weird feeling that all the new tech is either way more expensive or just not available. This isn't some far-off future, by the way. It's already starting, and we're about to find out why.
So what's really going on here? Well, what we're seeing are the symptoms of a much, much bigger problem. Think of it like a silent price hike happening across the entire tech industry, and it's hitting everyone.
Which brings us to the big question, right? Why is this happening? I mean, for years, the deal was always that tech got more powerful and cheaper. Why is that trend suddenly going in reverse? The answer is probably not what you're thinking.
The real culprit here is a tiny, hidden component that most of us just completely take for granted. Random access memory. You know, RAM. It's the short-term memory in your phone, your laptop, your console, everything. And right now, it's at the center of a massive global tug-of-war.
And that tug-of-war, it's being driven by one thing, the absolutely insane appetite of the artificial intelligence industry. We're talking trillions of dollars pouring into AI, and all those AI data centers need one thing more than anything else. You've heard the saying, right? In a gold rush, don't dig for gold, sell shovels. Well, in this new AI gold rush, RAM is the shovel. It is the one essential tool that every single major player absolutely has to have to keep digging for that digital gold.
But hold on, here's a really important point. Not all RAM is created equal. The stuff in your laptop, that's regular consumer RAM. The stuff that you use for AI is called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. Just think of it as the supercharged Formula One version of RAM. It's way more powerful and way more expensive. But the fact that they're different doesn't actually protect you.
And this is the absolute heart of the problem. Both kinds of memory, the normal stuff and the super fancy AI stuff, are made in the exact same factories using the same equipment. So every single silicon wafer that gets used to build memory for an AI server is one less wafer that can be used to make the RAM for your next phone or your next PC. It is, quite literally, a zero-sum game.
And if you want to understand just how crazy the scale is, get this. According to industry reports, just one company, OpenAI, has reportedly locked down about 40% of the entire world's supply of this high-end AI memory. 40%. For just one company. That's insane.
So you have this absolutely ravenous demand from AI, and it's slamming right into another huge problem. The supply chain is a massive global bottleneck. It's controlled by a tiny, tiny number of companies.
You know, when you shop for tech, you see dozens of different brands, but the actual little black memory chips themselves, they are almost all made by just 3 companies: Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Between them, they control 93% of the entire global market. When pretty much all the world's electronics rely on just 3 suppliers, well, the whole system gets incredibly fragile.
So the obvious question is, why don't they just make more? Well, the thing is, they've been burned before. Back in the mid-2010s, during the smartphone boom, they built too much, flooded the market, and prices completely crashed. They lost a ton of money. So now they're terrified of that happening again. Plus, building a new factory, a fab, takes over 2 years and costs billions of dollars. They're not going to risk that kind of money on what might just be a temporary AI bubble.
Okay, so we've got this supply crunch and this huge demand. How does that all actually affect you and me? Well, this is where it all comes crashing down into the real world, and we're all about to pay the price.
Let's just take Apple as an example. Reports are saying that for the upcoming iPhone 17 Pro, they are paying a 230% premium for memory chips. 230%. Chips that used to cost about $25 are now getting close to $70, and you can bet that extra cost is getting passed straight on to the customer.
The PC market is already feeling the burn. Big names like Dell, Lenovo, and Framework have all said prices are going up. Some companies are even thinking about shipping new computers with only 8 gigs of RAM just to keep the cost from getting out of control. It's gotten so bad that analysts are predicting the entire PC market could shrink by almost 9% because of this.
And it's not just PCs. If you're a gamer, listen up. The next PlayStation and Xbox, they could face serious delays because of this memory shortage.
The situation is so bad that Nintendo's stock value has dropped by $14 billion, basically just because investors are worried about how much the memory is going to cost for their next console.
For PC gamers, the news might be even more shocking. The next top-of-the-line graphics card from NVIDIA, the RTX 590, the rumored price tag is $5,000. The last one was $2,000. That's just a mind-blowing jump.
So, all of this leaves us, and the entire tech market, in a really weird, uncertain place. Is this AI boom a real breakthrough that's here to stay? Or is it just a massive, overheated bubble that's about to pop?
And you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to this. That quote is from Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the company at the absolute center of this whole AI explosion. Even he is admitting that he thinks investors are overexcited. That's a pretty stunning thing to hear from the guy leading the charge.
So, is there any relief coming? Well, there's a potential dark horse, China. Their biggest memory maker, a company called CXMT, is getting better. But, and it's a big but, most experts think they're still 2 or 3 years behind the competition. They're not a short-term fix.
So here's the bottom line. We are all paying a very real price for this AI boom. It's showing up as delayed products, higher prices, and a supply chain that's stretched to its breaking point. And that leaves us with a really tough question to think about. Is the AI we have right now actually worth all this?